Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 240.
Oh my.
Good evening, Chris. How are you?
Jingle bells,
Really?
jingle all the way.
I'm tired of Christmas music already. Does your house have Hallmark Channel going 24/7?
Oh yeah, you know.
Really?
Hallmark Channel.
The Hallmark Channel?
No, we watched the Christmas Story with little.
Oh shit! I haven't seen that this year. I love that. Great.
I actually ended up buying it because I don't have regular. You know how WTBS plays it like 24 hours
yeah,
straight.
24/7.
The day before Christmas.
Yeah.
We don't have WTBS, so I ended up buying it on Amazon Prime. So
you play it 24/7.
Yeah, for a month.
Nice. No, my family is into the Hallmark movies, and it starts at Thanksgiving, and I got my fill at Thanksgiving for Hallmark feel-good movies. Whatever, bah humbug, but, it's just they all start the same, they all end the same, and it is what it is. But here we are in the Christmas season.
Yes.
And we give till it hurts here at the podcast. So, this is our time of the year. We make it happen, Chris.
Yeah, we do. And we're trying to get a whole bunch of content for our listeners so we can take a week off.
Oh, we're going to take more than a week off. Maybe 10 days.
Well,
Lorenzo's telling me
we're going to JK again.
Now. We're going to JK a little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
Lorenzo's
shit.
telling me 10 days. He's shaking his head, waving his tail. Yeah, no, it's happening.
All right,
so
Lorenzo better get to the editing duties then.
That's our little precursor to KOH 2024, which is happening at the end of January. I
just got home from KOH 2023.
Yeah, right. It's happening. It's a week earlier, and yeah, I'm just glad I'm not a racer stressing out about getting my shit together for it. I do have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of ambitions for my enclosed car trailer, getting it set up for KOH 2024. But, that's nothing compared to the guys that are racing.
Did you get the bunks in there so I can sleep in it?
No bunks, but I want to do a diesel heater. I want to make this countertop. I've got a epoxy countertop idea that I want to make happen, and it's going to be the place to party because 9-10 people try and cram into my cab over camper when the weather's cold and shitty and stuff, and I've got bourbon and whiskey, and they pile into my camper. Well, now I want them to pile into a palatial estate of my enclosed trailer, so that will be a lot better. And Lorenzo's looking forward to that because he got nervous. People like Tyler and Lee Lim and Jimmy would walk into the camper, and he was worried about he'd be kidnapped. So now he can rest easy in the camper while we're partying in the enclosed trailer. So
he'll be a little anxious though because his bale of hay is in the trailer, and that's his food source. So.
Well, it's just like a horse trailer. I've got a bunch of hay on the top that nobody can reach except for him. So it'll be fun.
Or Tyler.
Tyler
can reach it.
Well, Tyler could reach it. He's a little taller, but Lee Lim definitely is not going to reach it.
Oh no, or
Jimmy,
Mike, our friend Mike won't be able to reach it.
I
think Mike standing on Lee Lim's shoulders might not be able to reach it.
I wonder if Mike Austin's going to be out there this year. We'll see how that works out. I am hoping. My whole goal. I've got a lot of ambitions for KOH 2024. One, Amber is going to fucking finish within time. Okay, that's number one ambition. Number two is seeing some of these rookies finish KOH 2024.
From the rookie program?
Yeah. Like Thor Motorsports, EVE. They're going to do an an EV course. I want to see fucking Evolve Racing kick some ass.
Yeah, you bet.
And then of course our friends that we just interviewed at Thor Motorsports from Canada. I'd love to see them do well because they travel 50 fucking hours to get down there if the weather's good.
Well, not only that, but crossing an international border and all that stuff, going through customs.
I can't even imagine that.
Customs officers would be like, what do you got going on here? What is that?
What are you doing? What are you doing over there? So, yeah, and our camp, Hammertown Heights Estates, is going to be bigger and better than ever. I can't even talk about what's happening because I've heard top secret. Well, it's not top secret, but I don't want to spread rumors until I know that it's come to fruition. But if half the stuff I've heard comes to fruition, get ready for Ultra 3, our neighbors across the street. We're building on up. We're the Jeffersons moving on up. So looking forward to our camp this year.
Sounds like I'm not going to be allowed in.
No, you're allowed in. You've got the secret handshake. You learn the secret handshake, Chris. You got to practice your secret handshake.
Is that where we kind of face opposite each other and grab each other's ankles or what?
Whoa, that is a different club that you belong to. I think that is the YMCA swim club that you belong to. That is not Hammertown Heights Estates. That is not what we promote there. That is
holy shit.
That
didn't come out right.
Jesus. Have some more whiskey. That is bad. Okay, that is not our secret handshake. Shit. You need to get your shit together. But anyways, good stuff. Looking forward to it. We got a lot of great stories coming here on Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast.
This is just the beginning of the KOH content. Baby.
And so with that, we circle back with Ultra Fort Jones. How
many times has he been on the show? 100?
I don't know. You've got that count. I don't have that count. Lorenzo knows. No, Lorenzo's shaking his head right now like he doesn't know. You don't. What kind of super
producer is he? What kind of super producer is he?
Yeah, you're supposed to have these stats at look at him.
I mean, we invested in that hoof-friendly.
Why is he walking off right now? Son of a gun, he's going to hit the bourbon. He's been sober for a long time, and he's going to hit the bourbon. He's disappointed.
Right, you know what? Take away
now.
That keyboard. He doesn't get his hoof-friendly keyboard anymore.
He's disappointed in himself. You should be, Lorenzo. But anyways, so Kevin Jones.
Everybody gets fired before Christmas.
Spit some knowledge here on what he's been up to, and I love it, the genuineness. So let's roll into that interview.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Well, Chris, this is great. This has been way too long. I can't believe it was right after KOH last year. We Too Low. Ding bow wow.
Outing bang.
I don't know. Ate bang. So we have Kevin Jones back on the podcast. He's chasing 518 and chasing Amber on how many times he's been on the podcast. So welcome, Kevin.
Ford Jones.
Welcome, Kevin.
It's good. It's good to be back.
Everybody's been wondering what you've been up to. Trying to follow your Instagram. I can't even keep up with your shit that you got going on Instagram.
The real question is, what hasn't he been up to?
Right? So I go, hey, we got to get Kevin back on. Of course, Kevin and I talk every week at least, and but I've been catching up on Chasing 518, your YouTube channel, and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know about that. And we talk every week. So
yeah.
All right. So let's just get right down to it. We're not going to ask where you grew up, where you went to school, and if you were a scholar or not. We're going to get right into brass tacks.
Okay.
Whoa.
So what have you been up to? What's the most recent thing you've been up to? Like with
you want to go backwards, chronologically backwards?
I don't know. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, the big push right now is to get
let's
518 chase my 7th. Yeah, Want to get my 7.3 truck back on the road because we're coming up on 2 years. 2 years ago that I cracked the block in that truck, and trying to plan out a good, decent, solid repair on that truck without breaking the bank, because you can get a 7.3 crate motor for $10,000 plus, but
What?
I was trying to do something a little bit more economical that I thought would be a little bit smarter in the long run.
So how many 7.3s did you end up purchasing?
I was given the first one and took it apart, and it had all kinds of weird mismatched rods and everything, and I just didn't give me good vibes. So that one I sidelined. Bought another one that came with a transmission and a harness and computer and gauge cluster and everything. And that one is the one that I use to build the run stand.
Okay.
That most people have seen on the garage content. But then that one ended up having a couple of intake valves that didn't really look so good on cylinder leak down test. So I bought another one, and that one I got completely scammed and lied to. The guy said it ran good, and it must have had a hole in a piston or something like that, because not only was it running on 7 cylinders, but it would pump out the oil fill cap, once every 8 hits.
Flutter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one got parked, and then finally another off-roader, like somebody actually in the community, posted one for sale, and I told him, I said, I'm just so burned out on these right now. I said, I'll buy it, but I need like a money back guarantee. And I said, I can get it running within a week and tell you that I'm satisfied. So he agreed to that. And that one had 180,000 miles and came out of a truck that, somebody put in a ditch or something like that. So that's the one I've been going through, and, put head studs in and upgraded valve springs and a few little things like that.
3? Is my count correct? 3, or are we at 3 or 4?
Well, the freebie, the leaky intake valve one, the hole in the piston one, and now this one. So number 4. Number 4.
Wow.
4 doors, more whores. Okay.
Yep.
So
Wow.
wow, that's crazy. But what's cool, and I had a 7.3, and I never should have sold that truck. It was a great freaking truck, but I had to sell. I've learned in life, you got to sell shit to get better shit.
Yep.
And so that's what was able me to buy the 2017 F-350 6.7, which spins circles around the 7.3. But we're on 7.3 talk. I love the 7.3. I love the sound of a 7.3. I mean, they cackle. It's just
definitely got to cackle.
It's so cool. So watching and you've got an educational component to all your YouTube videos, IG posts, stories of like you're working through the situation and asking for opinions and stuff, right? You're not the resident expert like on 7.3s and going, oh, well, here's how you do this, that. Well, here's what I did. What do you guys think? And you get all this input. So, I mean, how much has the community helped you out rebuild this 4 engines to get to 1 engine for chasing 518?
It's good. I mean, I don't have a count on this particular situation, but I'm definitely a big believer in, now at 42 years old, that the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
You don't know, yeah.
And I'm not afraid to just say that on camera and say, what do you guys think? What should I do? What am I overlooking? What am I missing? Who knows about, is there a cool product out there that'll fix this or something like that? And, you gotta, I think we've said it a bunch. You gotta sort through the bad to get the good, but when you get those little nuggets from the community, it feels like it's, I have those moments where I'm like, man, I don't know how I did this before, when I didn't have all of this at my fingertips, all of this, reach, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
It is insane times where you can get instant feedback, where before you would be like calling people on a phone, maybe a rotary dial phone back in Chris's day,
Dude, you're
but
not much younger than me.
I know, I'm giving you shit, trying to get you engaged here. But no, it is crazy how you could put a story up and within 15 minutes, you probably have 20 comments from people like, oh, well, here's my experience with this. And, here's exactly what happened to me. And it's like, that's the wealth of information. Now, of course, you got to sift through the shit, right? Like, because not everything is, not that people are feeding you bullshit, but maybe what somebody's experience was isn't exactly the knowledge that you need to know at the moment in time. Sometimes people overshare, right? So it's like, okay. But super cool. And I love that, to me, it just comes back to the genuineness. And that's what I love about your channel and stuff. It's like, dude, I've got some experience. I've done some shit, but I don't have all the answers. I'm open to suggestions and comments, and it's cool because, and you share some of the comments that you get and stuff, and it's like, oh, well, so and so said this, and then you got people like Ian Johnson chiming in, and it's like, okay, that's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, it's just a cool process that can happen out there when you're, not all that in a bag of chips attitude.
Yeah, I think what's cool too is, when whatever the project is, whether it's race car or 7.3 or something like that, like it can help build momentum too, when you're struggling with, either the motivation or whatever to keep trudging forward, sometimes just the comments of positivity or reassurance that like, something's going to work out or it's not going to be a big deal or just, don't get hyper focused on this. Look at the bigger picture. Like, I mean, people send me all kinds of encouraging messages too. So it's not even just technical advice, but it's just, I mean, it's something simple, I love your content, keep it up. I have no idea what I'm looking at or how to help you, but, I can't wait to see what goes wrong tomorrow, and maybe it's something like that, but it's all good. I love it. I have such a, my reach is small, but I feel like the group is super loyal. So I just, everybody feels like, they're just right there along with me. So it's cool.
That's a great point, because the mental game is huge, right? And anybody, and whatever the sport is or anything, the mental game is crazy. And you've got a lot going on in your world, but it's like the everyman, and you got a family, you got 2 daughters, wife, you got the white picket fence and the dog and the whole thing going on, and firefighter, and it's like, you are the epitome of the everyman challenge. I love it. So you got this race car sitting in a garage that obviously you got stuff stacked on it like Chris's Jeep, and you've been focusing on getting, your truck running, your tow rig, your tow pig going, and then all this other stuff that's come up in between. But life happens, and that's what's super cool. But getting those little like, dude, that's awesome, I just experienced the same thing, or keep up the good work, I love following your page. I mean, Chris and I have gotten that over the past 4 years, and that's what keeps us going with the podcast. It's like, we're not making any freaking money off of this. And honestly, I got other shit to do right now, but I enjoy this. This is fun. And I love this, making content and people receiving it and going, dude, that was so cool. I love that podcast. And, we've done some stuff and same thing. You can relate to this, that you're like, I don't know if I should put that out there or not. But then people are like, dude, that was great. I love that. I could totally relate to it. So the feedback is always good and helps that whole mental aspect, because honestly, wrenching out in the garage at freaking 12:30 in the morning, it's like, what the fuck am I doing right now? But it's passion. It comes back to passion and the grind, right? And then getting validation from your followers. It's pretty freaking cool. And whether you got 10 followers or fucking 10 million, it doesn't care. Those little comments of positivity are great.
How many people recommend you get a Cummins?
Well said. Just one. There's one guy that keeps messaging me every time I post like weird Ford trouble, and I can't think who it is though right now.
This is last name is a WWW Chris Maines, Chris M.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to dig way deep in my DMs. I don't think I respond to that one.
Perfect. So along the lines of rebuilding your current project, this 7.3, and I mean coming down to the details, right? And this silly little thing of bubbles passing by a glow plug. I mean, does it happen in other engines? Obviously it probably does, but like, who else is researching this shit? I mean,
I mean, that's the stuff that I'm just like, how is it? What am I doing to myself that I get to learn these things? And I think most people would just say it's my attention to detail. I think most people would just slam glow plugs in it, put the valve covers on, and never look back.
Send it. Yeah, nobody ever would have thought that exhaust gases or any compressions going past a glow plug.
Right. But that was interesting. I mean, I can say today that's behind me because I ran the engine a couple more times and took one more look at that thing, and none of that is happening. So
I can't wait till you get this thing on a dyno to see. You're probably picking up about 4 or 5 more horsepower because of that.
I will tell you, like, it's always this way, right? When you have nothing invested in a vehicle, and I don't just mean monetarily, but time and energy, you're way more willing, in my opinion, to be pretty mean to it. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty mean to it before it blew up, and I gotta say, like, it being out of commission for almost 2 years and all of this headache of multiple engines and stuff, like, I'm really hesitant. I say this right now until I put my foot on the throttle, but I think I'm going to try to be nice to it for a little while.
Really?
I don't think I'm going to put it on it. I know. I don't want to put it on the dyno. I don't want to I don't even know if I want to put it in the hot tune, maybe I'll just leave it in the tow tune or something. But
so so one, I call bullshit as well.
Yeah, you're
Two,
right. I'm trying to be mature. Okay.
I understand that. You got a few more years before you're up to Chris and I's maturity. So I've always
wait. My maturity.
Oh, okay. Your maturity. I've always I'm not to go out and modify stuff right out of the gate. I got friends that modify shit and they need a computer to start their fucking truck because it's so heavily modified. And great, they're producing, 215 more horsepower than I am. But you know what? I don't have to do shit but press a button and freaking go to my destination, and I know it's going to run. So there's something about reliability in a tow rig. Yeah. You've got your other rigs to romp on and have fun in, but I'm always of the school of thought of making your tow rig, getting you to your fun of being super reliable. And
don't forget about the suspension he put in that truck, though.
Well, I know, that's it. And I was watching some YouTube videos last night of you getting sideways in the freaking F-350 and stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, he just flogs on that freaking truck. So it's in the blood, Kevin. And it's unfortunate, but that's what you got to accept your fucking destiny there. But whatever. But yes. So you learned way more about 7.3 diesels than you ever wanted to know.
Yeah, it's been good. And I always say I appreciate the education, and a lot of people have a hard time watching me, work on all these different things, but everything I've ever owned, whether it's a lawnmower or a 7.3, you know, has taught me something mechanically, and that's really what I crave is,
Yeah.
you know, I've always been that way since I was a little kid. So I don't really, it doesn't really matter to me what I'm working on as long as it's mechanical and I'm learning something.
And not a Dodge. Yeah.
And not
I get
a Dodge.
it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So much hate. So much hate.
So let's get our listeners caught up, because I didn't even know you had like a blue truck, a blue Ford truck that you inherited. There's Sideswipe. Of course, the Whiskey Runner that we've grown to love. It surprised you. It surprised all the viewers of how well that truck has performed
every day.
It is. You flog on that thing and it just keeps running. So it's super cool. So let's get caught up on some of your vehicles before we get into some Ultra 4 shit.
Sure. Yeah. So it was back in June, I made the conscious decision to fix the 7.3 truck, and full well knowing that while I was going to focus on that, I wasn't going to get any race car build work done. And it wasn't long after that I did that, pulled the engine and started building up the new one, that I realized I not only had no money, but I had a bunch of credit card debt. Just a real bad miscommunication between the wife and I. So we kind of got hyper focused on, I really didn't do much of anything for those that were really paying attention mechanically, because everything costs money.
Sure.
But got hyper focused on paying off the credit card debt. So I worked as much as I could, and I took on every single mechanical flip I could get my hands on. I turned a Aprilia scooter in like 2 weeks.
That's right.
There were a few, I can't even think of them right now, but yeah, if I thought I could buy it, fix it, and sell it and make a couple bucks to throw off on the credit card, that I did it. And one of those was this blue F-350 that you know, a friend of mine in the Santa Cruz area offered up, and I took it on with an engine related problem and fixed that really quickly. And shortly thereafter, transmission trouble ensued. And it's been kicking my butt ever since and making me definitely regret kind of this flip thing, you know, but it's the nature of flips. Like you win some, you lose some.
They can't all be roses, right?
They can't all be roses. Yeah. I mean, I clean house on some of them, and this one just, it's not going so well, but is what it is. I put it.
If it was easy, everybody'd be doing it, Kevin.
I know.
Right?
I threw it on Marketplace last night, like as is, broken, just to kind of like
get it out of the yard.
Just to see, like, will somebody just take this thing off my hands? And it, you know, I don't know. We'll see what that one. I've got a friend that wants to buy it if I can straighten it out, but I just have not been able to.
Yeah,
so, that one's tough.
Well,
that one's been frustrating.
There's always those points in your life that you gotta cut your losses, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
This is one of those where you just fucking just send it, just be gone, and we move on. You know, and then you got those other ones, those diamonds in the rough that you pick up and, you know, and go, holy crap, you know, this is easy fix, and you send it and make a little bit of cash off of the deal. So I get it.
Yeah, it was funny. The Whiskey Runner I bought about a year ago for $800, and that thing has never let me down. And
you drove it. So for wait. Let's back up.
You definitely put effort into trying to kill that truck.
For $800, you drove that shit from your house 6 hours down to Johnson Valley, fucking ran it up, jack, right? Or what do you guys do? Clawhammer. And drove it home.
Yep.
I mean, that is worth $800 entertainment in itself. It still keeps giving to you. So you are still ahead of the game, my friend.
Yeah, somebody brought up the point. They're like, you've probably put $8,000 worth of gasoline in that truck. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right, you know, but yeah, no, it's funny that, I mean, that one just wins, but the blue truck, it within just in like the first 2 weeks, I think, of ownership and trying to like turn that thing, it was on the tow truck twice. I got pulled over in it. It caught fire. I I feel like it's
that's
just
right. You had a
cursed.
fire.
Yeah.
It was cursed. You need to get rid
It's
of that
cursed.
shit.
Yeah.
Fix or repair daily.
You just need to. You know what? Who's your neighbor up the hill? That Andy? Is it Andy?
Andy's right next door. Mark's up above.
You just need to drop it off on Andy's property
Yeah.
and just leave it there one night.
Just leave it. I know.
Put a big red bow on it like the Lexus commercials. Like Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And just fucking get rid of it.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's coming from a Ford lover right there. I don't know.
Well,
they all can't be winners, Chris.
They all can't be winners, Chris. Just like all the Dodges are losers, but there's 1 in 1,000 that are bummers, lemons, and Fords. So it happens.
You're definitely wrong. Wong.
Wong? Dave Wong? Are you talking about Dave Wong?
No. I love my Ram.
We're going to get him back on the podcast too, by the way. What's Kevin doing right now?
How many miles? So going back to Whiskey Runner, you drove that all the way to Colorado and beat the shit out of it there too, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
So how many miles have you put on? How many miles have you put on that truck since you bought it?
Ooh, boy, I don't know. A lot.
Yeah,
it seems like.
Yeah,
I mean, a couple thousand, a few thousand.
I definitely should have changed the oil a couple of times, but
you have not changed the oil.
But that requires caring, so no.
You are definitely trying. This truck, are you going to drive it till it dies, or are you trying to kill it?
I feel really bad for it right now because I've been cannibalizing it to try to figure out what's wrong with the blue truck. Yeah. So it's literally sitting with no valve body or guts or anything in the bottom of the transmission.
And that was like the best truck ever.
Yeah, but
yeah, you need to take that shit back off the blue truck, put it in the Whiskey Runner, and just keep running the Whiskey Runner. And like I say, just send it to Andy's house with a Christmas gift. Like, good luck. Throw a bottle of Rod and Hammers in it, so it's not like a total dud. And there you go. And let him deal with it.
Truck.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then there's been some other projects in the interim here. I'm glad you're refocusing on the 7.3 and getting the or your
we got
backup.
We got all our money.
518.
Yeah.
Yep. We got all our money stuff straightened out. We're out of debt. No more credit card bill.
And that's huge. And that's
huge. Yeah.
Why don't let's go a little micro right now. Why don't they teach that shit in school, in high school? Why don't they, they teach economics, how to fucking feed yourself, but they don't teach economics. And we've all had economics classes, but it didn't get down to the brass tacks. And this, I'll get on my fucking pedestal for a minute.
Oh boy.
It's like, let's get some real life shit happening in high schools of like, okay, one, how do you cook? Like basic meals. You don't need to be gourmet chef, but you need to eat to survive. You need nutrition. Okay. You need financials to survive. All right. You don't need to be fucking, Bill Gates and shit, but you need to have some money to pay your bills. And it's like this. It's so easy to link up a credit card, right? And you got $10,000 in your credit card, and you go, and it's so easy to just swipe this plastic, tiny little card at this whatever vendor, and you don't even look. I don't even know what fucking people are charging on my card. It's like, oh, that was $14 at Subway. That was fucking $28, here. That was $140 at fucking, Costco. And then you get the bill, and then it's like, holy fuck, Batman, I just spent $1,000 this month. And then what they're starting to do, right? Like society trying to control the credit card thing. It's like, oh, if you pay $12 a month, it's going to take you 32 years to pay off your credit card debt. You've seen that on your credit card bill? Yeah. That is the funniest fucking thing. I'm like, but people are in that boat that don't understand economics.
A lot of people
and have zero discipline, right?
Yeah.
Like, luckily, I am so thankful And I'm an only child, and people are like, oh, you were spoiled growing up. No, I wasn't. My parents taught me the value of a dollar, and I started working when I was 11 years old, and I learned the value of a dollar at a young age. And I am so grateful looking back on that, of like knowing, how to manage your money and don't spend more than you make and shit. So anyways, I don't know how we got off on that tangent, but
No, you're right.
My
I mean,
my micro PSA.
yeah.
Kevin paid his debt off. That's how we got on that.
It started
Right, credit card debt.
Right. It started with the race car when it was like, well, you have to buy parts faster than you make the money, so your credit card's going to just be a part of it.
Sure. But
it's pretty obvious I haven't had a race car for a little while now, and it's like, why do I have any credit card debt? Like, this is ridiculous. So it really took me getting angry. It took me getting mad about it to really finally want to do something about it. So I had to shut everything down for probably 3 months there to just go full aggro on it. But we're in a good place now, so I'm gonna put my truck back together. There's a few more parts I need, but I think I can make that work, paycheck to paycheck. Put the truck back together and get rid of some of these other turds out here in the yard, and then back on the 4800.
But that's, that's the reality, right? And that's, again, going back to genuineness. And it's like, you got to provide for your family. You got, you got 4 mouths to feed, including your own. And I've seen you eat. You eat a lot and you drink a lot. But anyways, no, it is. It's like, I got to get back to, make this thing right. And yes, I want to fucking work on the race car. Yes, I want to get my truck fixed. Yes, I want to do all these great things. I'd love to take a trip to freaking Europe, but let's get back to reality and let's address this credit card debt. But, most people in society would be like, fuck it, just, I'll go in, and claim bankruptcy and get fucking vindicated, and Biden will take care of me and all this bullshit, and that's why I've always loved following you, and you're genuine, and it's like, fucking, let's take care of shit crisis situation first, and we'll move on, and you will get your race car done. You will fucking have a cool car, and you will fucking hopefully dominate in
podium, baby,
4800 class, right? And that will be a great fucking day. And it's all about priorities. And unfortunately, most of our society, is pie in the sky and not focusing on the reality. But anyways,
I think there's a, for me, and talk about like my stories and what I show and everything, it's a fine line, right? Obviously, a lot of people go to the internet to feel good and to see awesome things and, whatever. But so I don't want to just be like, woe is me every day. But I do know that everybody that is in the community with me, they have the same struggles, time, money, relationship, like all of that stuff. So, I don't, like the first time I posted, I think, a picture of my credit card balance or maybe making a big payment or something like that, I was like, is this kind of weird? Or I don't know, but the amount of comments I got, like telling me good job, or I'm going through the same thing.
People can relate.
It was so relatable. So it instantly kind of gave me reassurance that this is okay. Like, this is fine. Like, these are real struggles that I think most people go through.
I mean, honestly, everybody's like, why'd you move? And I'm like, financially, it was a no-brainer for me. And the other thing was, I love the area, but if I was still in the Bay Area, I'd be super fucking stressed right now, because I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck, but it was tough. It was tough. And I didn't want to continue doing that. I had a great house, great area. I was, freaking 1 minute from my mom, and but I knew I had to move, and I knew this was the place I needed to be in. and I don't regret it one bit, but it was a financial decision when it came boiled down to the brass tacks. And it's great. And you gotta make some sacrifices to make stuff happen. And this is real life. And back to Ultra 4 and stuff, it's like, racing's great and all this glamorous shit, but even the top dogs, I mean, they got all these quote unquote sponsors, but it still costs them money to race, right? It's not a free deal. And
Right.
and that's what I love about Ultra 4. There's a lot of guys like you that just love to race, have a passion for racing and the whole sport, and are scraping everything together, scraping pennies together to make it happen, and making it happen. And it's life. Racing, like we say on the podcast, you want to make $1 million in racing, you got to start out with a fucking 10 million. So, it's just part of the deal. Okay. So getting into Ultra 4, because people want to know.
Yeah. Enough talk about garbage trucks.
I know. So, where are you at and what's going on with the 2024 KOH?
It's funny. This time last year, a lot of people were asking me, "Are you going to get your car done? Are you going to get your car done?" And
right,
it's funny. This year, it's pretty dang obvious to everyone that that's just not a priority. So it's kind of nice because it's actually taken a lot of those DMs out of the inbox. But yeah, I'm going to be navigating for Aaron Smith again, just like I did at KOH 23.
That is a great team, by the way. It just seems like a natural fit. Hanging out in your guys' pit, and you guys are very similar, like ADHD wise and everything. It's like it's cool.
Yeah, he's. I really like Aaron. I really enjoyed getting to know him and his whole posse. So I'm glad that's going to work out again. He's got a lot to do, but he doesn't have as much to do as he did this time last year. So we talked kind of logistical strategy the other night about like prioritizing, what parts of the car to repair, what parts to upgrade. And I don't have a say in any of that. I think I'm just a sounding board for him, which is fine. Just kind of, if he asks me what I really think he should do, should he build a new dash or should he, whatever. It's just like, I'll just give him my 2 cents. Cause it's
put a seat heater on the passenger side.
Yeah, for sure. I know. Well, I really need a good cup holder is what I need in that seat, but I don't know if you guys know anybody that makes those, but no crickets. Okay. All right. Yeah, so it's my skin in the game. Okay, my skin in the game with Aaron is, obviously I want him to bring a dependable, competitive car that we can do good in. So,
sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. We got a lot of little things to figure out, but he's got a car to put together, and my plan's just to keep pushing with my truck and get my truck ready, and then when I get home, hopefully, that leaves me in a good place where, I can get back to working on the 4800, because it kills me. It bugs me a lot. That thing is obviously center stage in my garage, and I spend a lot of time in my garage. So when you end up walking around your project instead of, walking up to your project,
right?
Yeah,
that just kind of eats away at your soul a little bit. So I'm pretty excited to get focused on it again. But I was just in such a weird funk not having my pickup truck. You could say, oh, you got the whiskey runner, but it's like that thing just can't quite get it done.
No.
There's a lot of reasons why
like
I shouldn't drive it. Yeah. So, I'm excited, about 2024. I thought I was excited about 2023, but, just kind of flew right by.
Well, it's life.
I'm playing, I'm just playing long game. Like it's funny. I've watched, you think back to, I bought that old car in the spring of 2019.
Yeah,
So
2019.
in what's coming up on 5 years of quote hanging around Ultra 4, I've seen so many people come in hard, burn out, and just go away
and gone.
and I utilize all that as like kind of lessons, and I'm trying to pay attention to don't fizzle out, don't kind of blow your wad, don't end up divorced, don't end up bankrupt.
Right.
Just, this is something I really, really want to do. I think I can do a good job at it. I just need to chip away. I need to be patient, and I need to just play long game.
Yeah, no.
And it's fine, I mean, motorsports, say whatever you want about, political or economical stuff, like racing motorsports is not going to go away. So there are plenty of years left,
but it won't go
away. Yeah, there are plenty of years left in my life to do what I want to do, and I just need to keep working towards that goal. And I'm not too worried about, I used to kill myself trying to meet maybe some ridiculous deadline, and at the cost of what, my girls are growing faster than anything, and so.
No, absolutely right, and it's that's a great perspective, and the trials and tribulations of Ultra 4 or whatever, but King of the Hammers is not going anywhere soon. It's so freaking popular and great, and people are dialed into it. But so, with that said,
yes, let's go there.
Are we going there? We're going to go there. Okay.
Where are
we
going
to go there.
Where are we going, Chris? Where are we going?
I want to know what the hell's going on with the Robinetts and freaking Ultra 4 racing.
Yeah, what the fuck is all this Fox Sports Insiders stuff going on?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess depending on your air date of this or whatever, like a lot of scuttlebutt or whatever you want to call it started about 2 days ago. But I heard some stuff a couple of months ago from some people that I think are more in the know that kind of alluded to, Ultra 4 USA might be looking for a new owner,
right?
That the Robinetts might want out. And it sounds like that's, pretty much confirmed at this point that the Robinetts would like to sell the series. The schedule came out, and it doesn't have any races at their Mid-America facility.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So there's a lot of people, worried right now because they put their eggs in the series basket.
Yes.
And I think it's also one of the reasons I've never really been all that interested. I dabbled with it in 2021, and I kind of, all it really showed me was I don't really love the series. I mean, I said it before, I'm all about KOH, but I don't know that I love the series. I think I want to, do a bunch of bucket list motorsports stuff. So I'm just watching, obviously, from the sidelines, but it definitely seems like Ultra 4 USA is, the wheels are kind of coming off.
Well, now
it's not going to affect Hammers. And honestly, like, I really wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day, like, Dave Cole owns the series again.
Go back at it, right? That was kind of my thought a couple days ago. I'm like, oh my god, what if Dave Cole owns the series?
I don't know that he wants to have the headaches of all of that, but I mean, it comes down to economies of scale, right? I mean, to have a series that bops around the nation, East Coast, West Coast, and then South and North. I mean, to have the equipment, the cameras, the trailer that travels from point to point to do the coverage, and all the equipment. I mean, to do one event costs a fortune, but obviously trucking equipment to and from various venues has a significant cost, but it's certainly, you can spread out the cost of all the capital investments over various venues if you do it that way. So, I mean, obviously it's kind of, this is, 30,000 foot level stuff. But, I don't know. I started kind of perusing the interwebs about it a little bit. And when I saw that post from Chip McLaughlin, I was like, what in the hell is going on here? And that was the first time it popped up on my radar. So I started.
There was a couple prior to that.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, I hate to say, like, I don't care because I do. It's the sport, it's the hobby, it's all those things. But I don't think it's really going to affect my plans. And if anything, I think we kind of talked about this before you turned on the mics or whatever. It really reaffirms to me the importance of like the diversification of whatever it is you're trying to do.
Yes.
And that's, maybe it's because of my ADHD or what, but I feel like now I'm seeing, with this example right here that we're talking about, this is why I want to be kind of all things motorsports,
right?
Like
I
didn't realize, I didn't realize at the time when I picked my little Instagram handle that it was so short-sighted, but yeah, I want to do all of it. I want to do cheap truck challenges. I want to do King of the Hammers. I want to race the Baja 1000. I just want to live my best life, and that's really,
yes.
So to watch the series kind of ebb and flow and lose locations and change owners and all that, it really kind of reaffirms to me that doing this for my reasons is a lot better than chasing somebody else's series. And I feel bad for the guys that are really banking on the series for either their marketing or their sponsorship, because, that would be kind of scary if you had these companies that are now, they were going to give you product or money to go do what you love, but now they're waffling because, well, wait a minute, why would we give you this? The series is, in jeopardy or being canceled or anything like that. But the companies that help me, I would say 80+% of them don't even care if I go to a race. They just want me to do me.
The content.
They want me to, the content, like build stuff in the garage, go break stuff on the trail, go spread the good word, show us how the product's used. Like,
that's the genuineness, and right?
Fun.
And that's what companies are seeking is like, what's this guy doing? Oh, okay, he's got a family. He's making stuff happen. He's, you've been very good at staying relevant with not racing. and my hat's off to you for that, because it's like most people that aren't racing and life and gets involved and, whatever reality sets in,
sure.
In this Fugazi life of racing, you're not Lauren Haley. You're not Levi Shirley. You're every man challenge guy that has a family, trying to keep the bills, trying to pay down the credit card, XYZ. And here you are still staying relevant, which is like a fucking gold star if I was a sponsor of you. Like, dude, this guy's still cranking out content with piece of shit, fucking 7.3 Fords, whatever it is. You're on the grams. You're staying relevant, and that is the key. And I think that is the takeaway of people, that don't have big backing sponsors, dollars, family trust. I want a family fucking trust. Can I get a family trust for?
You could start one. It doesn't mean it'll have anything in it, but I think you could start one.
Just get. I have a couple friends that get $5,000 a month for doing fucking nothing.
Wow.
I want that. How do I get that? How do I sign up for that program? But that is not reality.
You don't value.
Chris gets that.
No,
Chris
I don't.
Doesn't quite get five. But
let's back up for a second and talk about sponsors in the game, and it's like thinking about Ultra 4 and the Robinetts wanting out on that series and Robinetts. It's like you kind of keep mentioning the sponsors. The sponsors are going to be fine. Because they have many eggs in many baskets, and it's
diversification, Chris.
Absolutely.
And that is the takeaway.
So
don't
whether
put
it's
all your eggs in one basket,
whether it's Ultra 4 or if it's Trophy or if it's NASCAR or just regular everyday stuff, drifting, whatever the thing is. I don't, like Kevin said, I don't know how this is going to land or how this is going to shake out. Who's going to own it? Is it going to be back to Dave Cole? Is it going to be somebody else? Is it going to be Tyler at Morflate that's in it? I don't know.
Chris Maines.
Right. Yeah. Cause I want that fucking headache.
Yeah, you do.
But
bring it on.
Wait, Wheeling Wine Whiskey's going to buy it up.
Oh, that would be fucking cool. Ultra 4 is sponsored by Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Yeah, you talk about not having money now. Try to be an event promoter, right?
Yeah, that's like how to go from
I think
$1 billion
somebody
to zero in short order.
It was one of the comments on the Facebook stuff that I think kind of hit the hardest, and it was, there's too many people with too much money wrapped up into these cars in this industry for it to just go away. So like, I don't have any doubt it's going to land somewhere.
Yeah,
it might look a little different. It might be a more condensed schedule. You know, it's hard to say what it's going to look like, but it's not going to go away. There's way too many people with way too much money wrapped up in this stuff.
It's way too popular.
Yeah, but like I said, to me, it just really hit home that, you know, because I mean, clearly, you know, at that Lauren Healy level, their content is smoking tires. Like that's what they can do. They don't have to show the cars getting built. They don't have to show anything but, you know, the sexy go fast stuff
and launching off of jumps or rocks or whatever it is. And
but I don't, you know, I don't have exactly. But I don't have the bandwidth to smoke tires every day and expect that to be my only content. So I think it's way better for me and the companies that I want to partner with to just be me and show everybody what I do on my days off, whether it's, you know, in the garage or, you know, a piece of junk truck like the Whiskey Runner or making some parts for the race car. Like that's your mainstream consumer. You know, I am that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to sell tools or products, I'm the guy that's buying them. So, you know, why wouldn't you want to hit your target audience?
Or Brunt, you know, footwear.
Yeah,
right. Everybody needs shoes. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, and like Rod and Hammers, you know, that you've aligned with. I mean, super freaking cool being Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Yeah.
We love whiskey.
I had a conversation, you know. Yeah, I don't think the Rod and Hammer thing, I don't think it would be bad if I said this, but I had a conversation with one of those guys the other day in the marketing department, and he was talking about two drastically different events that he went to represent the company. And one was super hoity-toity, and he said they barely got any sales, and it just didn't feel right. And he said, and then they went to this blue collar, you know, 24 to age 44 demographic of males, and they sold all kinds of stuff. And I just kind of like wanted to hit him upside the head and be like, yeah, that is your demographic. Those are my people. Yep, you know, that is the demographic, because we're not in high school drinking Jack Daniels anymore, but we're not buying $100 bottles. You know, I'm like, your product lands exactly where we live our life.
Correct.
And, you know, and it was one of those things that it was good to kind of hear from them that they fully understand that, you know, my people are their customer. That is their audience.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
That is key. But I mean, it's cool with the Whiskey Runner and stuff and how they've embraced that. And I've been down there a handful of times to Rod and Hammers, and it's just a cool vibe. You know, they produce some great, you know, juice and, you know, for the whole scenario, and it's perfect. You are the perfect spokesman for Rod and Hammers.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's cool. That's exactly what we're talking about. And, you know, part of that diversification. And
yeah, you talk about, you know, able to stay relevant without racing. I really feel like I've built so many relationships, and I've built up the marketing, and obviously, like, you know, followers have increased. The YouTube channel is new and growing. I'm prime. Like, things are trending really well for me to be able to afford to go racing.
Yeah, I agree.
And, you know, like, I don't feel like, would I have preferred that I finished my car by now? Absolutely. But I feel like when I have a car, the opportunities are there for me, and they're just waiting. So it's good. Like, I'm at peace, you know, with the process. If you'd have told me in whatever that was, 2021, that wasn't gonna have a car for a couple of years.
Yeah, like, you'd be like,
I would have wanted to punch you in the face, but it's okay right now. I had lunch with Carlos the other day. He was passing through the area, and we talked a lot about
Fab.
TAC 1 Fab, and we talked a lot about life and just how everything that you want to do isn't always what you get to do. And I mean, Carlos has had some things come up this year too that haven't really gone. Yeah. So we're all just normal dudes experiencing the same stuff, whether it's money or family or what.
Sure.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
That's just all I can say. I'm okay with it. I can't wait to go racing, but I'm okay with the way life is going.
I want to see you in the left seat again.
Yeah, me
the
too.
Left seat, not the right seat, not the wrong seat.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's genuineness, right? And it's life. And that's, again, going back, coming full circle of what we started talking about on this podcast. It's like, this is the shit that happens. This is reality. I'd love to be in that Instagram Fugazi world of, everything's fucking roses every day of the week, but that's not reality. And, it's hard for people to post on Instagram their struggles and their challenges and their defeats. And you don't have a problem posting that. It's like, dude, I'm fucking, having some issues here. And, how can you help me out? And you reach out to the community and people are there because they can relate. You're relatable. Yep. And there's a lot of people, and I don't follow those pages that are unrelatable, the fucking Grant Cardones or whoever the fuck, I don't care. It's like they're living and they put up, and they fucking struggle. They got issues.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't know if you follow Bert Kreischer, the comedian. Dude, that guy, he struggles with his demons of alcoholism and, overweight and the whole thing. And they have a podcast. He has his own podcast. They got Two Bears, One Cave with him and, I'm drawing a blank right now. But he's super genuine like you, right? Like, he's like, dude, I got to stop drinking. This is getting out of control. And he does. And it's like, he just throws it all out there online. He throws his whole life out there. And that's, people, can relate to that. And that's what makes them successful. And that's the recipe right there, is like, you're doing it, you're making it happen. Fuck the fucking critics that are keyboard warriors going, oh, well, you should have had your car done 2 years ago and this, that, the other thing. Well, yeah, in a perfect world, that would have been great. But let's talk about reality for a second here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, with that said, what's KOH 2024 looking like for you? So you're going to ride right seat with Aaron.
Yeah.
The wrong seat.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I thought we already talked about this. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be with Aaron. I'll be there. Gosh, man, I was there 11 days last year. And I listened to you guys talk about how you love to stay an extra day on the back end. And Aaron and I were talking about that.
Got to do the Monday. Got to do the Monday. I know.
They're like, oh yeah. Amber and Randy, they just go wheeling while everybody's stuck in traffic. And so I'll try to pull off as much as I can time wise, but man, it's a slog, especially when you're spending, so much of that time in the car. Right. But, a lot of time for hammers. I don't even know what vehicles if the Whiskey Runner's still alive, people want to see it. So I feel like if the
cool
Whiskey Runner's still alive, I should bring it back. Cause it was fairly new-ish when I brought it last year, but
would it fit in your enclosed trailer?
No, God, no.
Right?
No. So yeah, I mean, last year it towed the enclosed trailer down there.
It did.
And then I slept in that. I'd love to have the motorhome and have a flushing toilet, but
comforts.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
That's funny. You got options.
Yeah.
You got options.
Yeah.
Well, Chris and I will be living our best Lance life in Hammertown Heights Estates, so you can come up and visit us.
Yeah,
regardless of what you're driving. If you can get there, if you can't get there, we will come pick you up.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to it. Regardless of all this drama that's going on, everybody's just fucking cranking out and got their eye on the prize for KOH 2024. Any predictions from the early sightings here on the Instagrams and stuff? Some of these new cars getting built, people that have been just super grinding. I know you follow it to the nth degree, so I want to hear some of your predictions of KOH 2024.
Well,
put you on the spot.
I remember last year I thought Paul Wolf might do good, and he ended up DNFing. So apparently I don't know anything, which goes back to where this conversation started, I think. But
I think he overdrove the car.
We wanted to see him succeed as well. I mean, dude, he's literally a junkyard dog. So
sure,
but
I think I just recently listened to interview with Joe Thompson. I'm sure a lot of your listeners listen to that one too. And I mean, that guy is just so amazing to me. I love his mindset. I love the way he talked about building the car, and I mean, he's like, I put function first. He's like, and then I try to figure out how to put form into the equation. It's just, I mean, the amount of money the Gomez brothers throw at this, and obviously they know how to win it. Like, man, I mean, if they did like a three-peat or something, like that's just crazy. They're running away with it. But it's everybody always talks about, and it's a huge part of the appeal of hammers is the luck side. So, it's probably somebody else's turn to quote get lucky. But I don't know. I'm screw it. I'll say it selfishly. I'm excited to see what Aaron can do with some experience now, because he was so green to KOH last year, that we were going too slow in the desert, and then we tried going too fast in the rocks, and it just, a lot of the pre-running stuff, and I made mistakes too in my position for sure, but I mean, he's such a good driver. He knows the car so well. I think we can do so much better than we did last year. That and I haven't even heard from him, like, what his expectations are. Does he just want to secure another finish, or does he want to go for broke? Like, and that'll be his decision because it's his car and his money. But whatever way he wants to go, I'll support. And I'll help with that plan of
because there's a couple races going on out there, right? It's like, I'm just racing to finish, or I'm racing to fucking podium. And that's the other great thing about KOH. So that will be cool, because you guys both have, you learned and working together. That's a key thing out there. And it's so damn challenging. Again, I don't want to be in that position, but I respect you guys that are out there, driver, co-driver, whatever it is. It's so freaking challenging, that one-day race, and following all these different races and hearing their stories. It's like, holy crap, this is super cool, but I don't want to be in either one of those seats, peeing through a catheter. So that's going to be great to follow this year. And I do love your position in that sense. And Aaron, knowing him, getting to know him last year and seeing his dedication, that will be cool to follow.
And I remember last year when we started, it was really the beginning of him and I even spending time around each other. And I started videoing, and I could tell, like, he wasn't real into it. So I kind of just, all right, I won't maybe do as much videoing. But I think this year, now that we know each other, that I'm sure, like, somebody will have a Starlink in our camp or something like that. I'm going to go heavy on the content and share that journey of what Aaron and I have to go through, and try to provide that point of view of what it's like to, you can never film yourself as the racer. So I think it'll be cool to, like, film him and what he's going through, and the struggles, and because there was, I mean, we told a lot of stories, but that was probably only even a fraction of what we went through. So I'm gonna try to create some pretty good content and a pretty good story out of what Aaron's what his KOH 2024 experience is like.
That's cool. All right, I got a couple other comments to bring up here that I want your opinion on. The EV class.
Sure.
So, we both know Evolve Racing, Keith and Melissa, with their car. Of course, Eve, Boston Kyle with the clapped out Toyota 4Runner that, they
OG.
proved a concept. Yep, the OG of EV. I guess Dave's got a car. So there's a potential of like 5 EVs racing this year. I'm hearing that it's going to be a modified course because obviously it's a battery fuel issue. They can't, run the entire, course of KOH. But what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, Dave's a visionary, and we wouldn't even have King of the Hammers if it wasn't for him and that vision. But his vision for the electric thing just hasn't played out, and a lot of it's not his fault. It's the technology. I think a company came to the table offering something before it was ready, and I remember whatever it was, a year or whatever ago, Dave pulling the plug and just saying it's not ready, it's not safe, we're not doing it. And there were a lot of teams that were willing to build, EV cars if the technology was ready to support it. I think, unfortunately for a few more years, it's probably going to be people like Keith and Melissa just slogging it out and just kind of, spending their own time and money figuring stuff out. And, I think eventually a lot of those products will come to fruition for everybody else. But yeah, it's gonna, individually like that, Kyle's truck and Keith and Melissa's, like they have a lot of appeal and people are super interested in it. I'm super interested in it, but it's just not going to take off until there's a field of cars, and everybody's able to jump in an electric car and go race it.
Well, the whole Lordstown thing, that was, when they were down in Baja.
I love that EVA just fucking wiped the pavement with Lordstown, right?
Made it farther.
And that's
Factory
cool. And it's the same.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, the situation with like a Lordstown or Hypercraft or anything like that. But my sister's in the tech industry, and her experience from the workforce side has been a lot of these companies got startup money. They got Kickstart money. They got government funding. They got something, and they exist for a couple of years while they burn through it doing R&D, and then they just didn't accomplish what they were trying to do, and they go away. And we've seen it with electric dirt bikes too. Remember the Alta?
Oh yeah.
These companies, they come and go, and where they got their investor money, I'm not really sure, whether it's private or government funding or what. But it just, Elon's the only guy that's gotten it done, right? Like why we don't just have a lifted Tesla class, I'm not really sure, but that would just be the way to do it. I've got a buddy that works at Rivian.
The Cybertruck's coming out, so it might be next year, or not.
Well,
this is 2024.
Did you see?
We saw that. Yeah, we saw the video of it at Hollister though. Couldn't even make it up stair steps.
I know. Right? So I wonder if it's driver or the vehicle. I kind of, you gotta know, right? Like if they put you in it, what would it look like, right? Like was it fucking? I don't want to.
Yeah, I've got a friend that works in Rivian, and I was bugging him. I'm like, dude, I know you don't have like corporate pull, but where is your racing division?
Sure.
Like, where are they? Like, why is that thing not out just making viral content, like doing cool stuff?
Yeah.
And
well, that's where a lot of technology leaps and bounds happen is from racing. Look, it really does. Yeah. It's the harshest environment you could possibly imagine, and that's where a lot of great stuff gets developed.
But exactly with that said, that's why I love Keith and Melissa with the Evolve Racing and turning a Tesla S engine, motor.
Sure, right.
He incorporated that into his rock crawler. That was a very capable Toyota pickup, as capable as Toyota pickups can be, put a Tesla S in there and made it happen. And they've learned so much in this last year and had a lot of support from Radial Dynamics and, other people that want to see this whole project succeed. They're on that bleeding edge, as like Chris likes to say. And they get a lot of criticism because it's like, oh, well, you're wasting money on this XYZ. Well, no, you know what? They're creating the future. And this is the future, undeniably, as much as we don't like to admit it. But it's going to happen. And we're going to look back on their truck freaking, and even EVE, proving a concept that electric vehicle can race in these harsh environments. Pretty freaking cool. So it's at the newborn stage, and everybody's going to throw their shade, and it's like, oh yeah, I love the sound of a V8, and I do love the sound of a V8, but this is where it's going, and I'd love to see the technology catching up with our sport and going, let's see what we can do with some electric motors,
Yeah.
But there will never be replacement for displacement. There will never be replacement for displacement. I love that morning. I will say this. I'm going to go on a little tangent right now, but the morning of the 4400 lineup in Hammertown, it's fucking cold. Everybody's got their Carhartts on and their beanies, and people have their shit up on jack stands because they're 250 weight gear oil. They got to warm up before they hit the start line, and just being in Hammertown, watching these ridiculous fucking creations, mechanical marvels, warming up to go race some of the toughest terrain. I love that shit. That is my favorite part of KOH is 4400 morning in Hammertown at 7 a.m. So there you go. And electric motors, I don't think is going to fill that need for me.
Yeah, you should try being in one of the cars. It gets better.
Mm-hmm. I'm not. I get it. And the nerves and everything, and I've seen it on people's faces. Your face, the Wicks, and all these people we know that we follow. But I love being that guy that's filming it or talking about it and stuff. I'm not a racer. Yeah. It's not my gig. Good. I get it, and I stay in my lane. But I can imagine what it's like hitting that start line and getting that green flag and going out of Hammertown with all these people cheering you on. It's got to be fucking electric.
For sure.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So hopefully someday you'll get to feel that feeling again.
Yeah. No, I'm not, I'm not done. And if people, want to talk trash behind my back or whatever, that's fine.
They always will.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's kind of the joke with like the YouTube comments and stuff. It's like, it's not until you have haters that you've actually accomplished something. So, it doesn't.
So one last, me. Yeah. No, it's part of the deal. You do you, Kevin. You do you. Okay, so one last thing I gotta ask. Is your opinion on Shannon Campbell with the 2-seat car with his new fiance or new wife, I should say, bride. Yeah. Shannon and Jess, with this new car, and you get the OG, right? This is the guy that is the epitome of Ultra 4. Everybody knows Shannon Campbell that knows Ultra 4. And badass, fabricator, making, chicken salad out of chicken shit is his motto.
Right.
And he's another one of those everyman guys that has proven himself and fabrication skills. And it's like, okay, now he's got a 2-seater. What are your thoughts on this? I want your thoughts on Shannon's build, and it's going out for wiring right now. He's ahead of the game.
Yeah. there's no doubt Shannon knows how to build a car. So I think you can eliminate any of those types of questions or concerns. He just this last year on the single seat car, he switched to the best shocks out there, switched over to ADS racing shocks.
Yeah.
And he went to a few regional races and he showed like he still knows what he's doing. I feel like his KOH thing, and I mean, he's publicly said it, his KOH shortfall is he can't see. So he can't read the course, and he's just making the best decisions he can make in the moment. But he's definitely added some miles to the race course over the years that he probably didn't need to take.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Jess is like comfortable in the car and she can read a map and keep him pointed in the right direction, like, I mean, Shannon will be top 5, you know, like, I mean, he's still the man. He's got all the, he's got all the speed,
right?
He can obviously build a machine, so, you know, nothing on the new car is like, he's not stepping outside the formula or the box, you know. The car is still very, very Campbell-esque and using a lot of the same parts that he's always used. I think he's got a big block now.
Don't fix it, right?
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I mean, if Jess is comfortable in the car, going those speeds and, like...
I think the whole key to the operation is as long as she doesn't have 2 black eyes and can't see the Garmin anymore, she'll be fine.
She's going to double up on the brassieres.
Yeah.
No, but I wonder how much coaching's going on behind the scenes of like, you know, how to navigate, how to be a right seat. You know, there's a lot to the right seat. And I've learned that over the years. It's like, they're just not riding in the car for a good time. They are contributing to the success of this operation. So, and Shannon being a single seat guy, you know, his whole career, it's going to be interesting to see. And I'd love to see this unfold. And somebody like Shannon that, again, is super genuine and just making shit happen with minimal stuff. And now with Jess in the mix, I can't wait to see what this is going to turn out. It's going to be awesome. Great.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, at the very least, we can imagine the lake bed updates will be, you know, interesting.
Exactly.
Who knows what they'll be doing while they're pre-running, you know, but I mean, I'm a big Shannon fan, so I hope he does well. I expect him to do well. So
I do too. And how we've gotten to know him over the years, Chris and I, it's just been great. And I love this shit. I love Ultra 4. I love all these different stories. And, you know, there's a little drama going on right now, but ultimately it's going to be another great year down in the desert in Johnson Valley. You know, Boone Road, we're going to be all excited driving in, and we're going to be effing fucking Boone Road driving out. But, you know, it's a great thing. I love the fucking... away. Yeah. No, it's so good. And I'm so looking forward to it. I know everybody else is. And it's cool to catch up with you, Kevin, and, you know, just get caught up. And I think you're 1 behind Amber now for the count. It's not official, but you're there. Yeah. So thanks for coming on the podcast and sharing your insight. And
you bet.
It is good. And thanks for being genuine and a family man. And we haven't even talked about the Element video, but if you haven't seen the Element video that Kevin and I did, more Kevin than I, and I will say this right now on the record, it was fucking incredible. We recorded that on a Thursday, and Saturday you edited it and got it out to the public a day later. That was a lot of content to edit, and our whole goal was just to like put the Element out there and show, you know, does it work or does it not? And we did real life scenarios, and it's funny because all the keyboard warriors and haters we haven't heard from. What's going on, Kevin?
Yeah, it got kind of quiet.
It did. It got quiet.
It would have done a lot better for my algorithm stuff if they would have engaged. But
right.
Instead, I think they just took their elements and went home.
Exactly. So it's
crying.
That was fun recording with you. I wish Chris could have been with us.
Me too.
But that was a great video. And if you haven't seen it, go to Chasing 518 on the YouTube channel and look up the Element video. It's a little lengthy. I think it's 45 minutes. But the content is gold.
It flows well, and it doesn't seem as long as it is.
It does, and it was 100% unscripted. I called Kevin a few times. I'm like, "What are we doing? Okay, let's try this, that, and the other thing." And we bounced some stuff off the wall, and we just ran with it, and it was cool. And his daughters got involved, and it was super realistic, right? Again, going back to the genuine thing. We weren't sponsored by Element by any means, other than they gave us some fire extinguishers to light off. Because I was willing to do it. Kevin was willing to do it. But, Rob says, hey, I'm going to give you some fire extinguishers. Let's see what you guys do. And that's what we ran with. And I'm proud of that video, man. Thank you for putting that out. And
yeah, you bet.
I know it took a lot. And, I was just rolled in and did a few things and rolled out, but all the hard labor was on your side, just like Chris editing the podcast. So thank you guys for doing that stuff and keeping it real.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's good times.
Yeah. So anything else, Kevin, before we wrap this segment up? It's been fun catching up with you, and you need to get back to your family that's in the house wondering where the you are.
Yeah, I think they're all ready to go home now.
Right?
Probably time that.
Right?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys always, keeping tabs on me, and it's been a fun journey to grow alongside you guys, and I'm just excited about the future.
Yes.
It's everything has been moving up and moving forward. Occasionally there's a step or two back, but
sure, that's life.
Yeah, that's life. So no, it's great. I'm having a good time. I enjoy listening to you guys every week, and keep up the good work.
Right on, man. Well, hey, okay, yeah. So we'll get the official count, but I think you're one behind Amber now. So we'll get the update count. Lorenzo's working on it right now. He's got a Santa hat on. He's
Amber
super
just texted me.
Studious. Yeah, he's texting you right now.
She just said, "Hey, that's bullshit."
So, right on, man. Thank you so much for your time, and look forward to seeing you on the lake bed along with all our other friends out there. And the story's going to continue. So
absolutely, good. Kevin. We'll see you on the lake bed. You and your family have a very Merry Christmas. Yeah,
you guys too.
All right, there it is. We got the update from Ultra 4 Jones, Kevin Jones. Yeah, what'd you think, Chris?
I think that's his 15th appearance on the show. I'm gonna have to confirm.
Is it 15th? You're gonna confirm that? Did Lorenzo email you that? Did he text you that?
But he texted me a picture of his ass too, so I don't know what that's all about.
He's been sending some dirty pictures from the places in Reno he's been visiting recently.
Jesus.
And I'm like, no, you need to behave yourself.
Has he been to all the he's been to the speakeasies in Reno yet?
He has found some underground shit in Reno, I will tell you that. And it's intriguing. It's intriguing, I will say.
Bondage for asses or what? I mean, I don't know.
I'm not going to rat him out.
We've gone completely off the rails.
I'll let him talk about that. But
back to Kevin Jones. Yes. That was some great content. You got some inside information, and hopefully we'll get some more answers about what is going on with Ultra 4. Because, you know, King of the Hammers is a separate entity. It's Ultra 4 Racing, but it's a separate entity that Dave Cole kept possession of when he sold off the other part of the series to the Robinett family.
Robinetts.
And obviously keep your ears tuned to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. We'll definitely, when we hear more news about what's going on,
find out what's going on. Yeah. This is crazy. But
will Wheeling Wine and Whiskey own Ultra 4? Is Moreflake going to own Ultra 4? Is Ford going to own Ultra 4? Is Stellantis going to own it? What's going to happen?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow. You're really just shooting for the stars there. But I'm encouraged. It was great to hear from Kevin and get the updates because, you know, good, genuine, relevant stories. And I love it. So I hope the listeners enjoy it. If you don't, go listen to Snail Trail for your Toyota updates. But, you know, we're here spitting real world knowledge of Ultra 4 and our community, and not to throw any shade on Snail Trail. They're doing a great job too, but it's fun. We are the #1 off-road podcast, and that's why we're #1, because we tell the truth.
And we have correct information. And if we don't, we admit
Just gotta throw that out there. But anyways, good shit. I love this, Chris. I love that we're in our 4th year.
What?
I can't believe that this is still going on, and we're still talking into mics, and we're still getting feedback that you guys keep it up, and I love it. And those of you that are out there listening right now, thank you very much for listening, and just tell your friends and support our podcast. It is 100% unsolicited, and this is not our day jobs, and we've loved
Thank
this.
God.
And yeah, right. I would love to make this my day job, but no, it's great, and I love the support. So thank you guys. We are fast approaching the holidays, and hopefully everybody is taking some time off to be with their family and enjoying it. And yeah, good stuff, Chris. Love this time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at snow-covered mountains. Looking forward to some skiing here soon. You won't hear from me. You'll be doing some more
content.
Yeah, you'll be doing some more solo podcasts coming up here now that I'm living up here.
I've got Rodney in the queue. I've got I'm going to get Donnie Happel in the queue. We're going to make this happen.
Donnie would be great.
Rover Don.
All right. With that, I don't have anything else, Chris. You got anything else?
We got to close the show, man. We got to, how do you get a hold of us? I mean, you got to call the number, leave a voicemail, 408-800-5169. Don't forget, that's 408-800-5169. Leave a voicemail. You get played on the air. And then, of course, you can leave us emails. That's chris@wheelingwinewhiskey.com or jason@wheelingwinewhiskey.com. It's getting a little close to the holidays, so if you haven't done your shopping yet, you're probably not going to get it for under the tree at this point.
No, you might. You might.
You can go to wheelingwinewhiskey.com, click on the merch link, and you can see all of our cool stuff that's for sale. Johnny will get that shipped out to you ASAP and hopefully make it in time for your holiday, to put it under the tree for your loved ones for the holidays. And last but not least, do not forget about the IG. And that is Wheeling Wine Whiskey.
Right.
And that is a great way to communicate with Jason and I directly. Jason's really prompt with his responses to that. And what's the last thing? Oh, do a review. We love reviews. We love
reviews. The 5-star reviews. I just sent out 6 stickers this week.
Holy shit! Look at you.
That's important.
It helps with the algorithm. And
I've got
Jason
2 stamps left. So 2 more reviews for 2023.
Wait, they charge for stamps in Nevada? I thought that was
They
free.
do. They do. It's the same. It's a federal thing, Chris.
Oh, fucking feds. Okay,
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
All right. Well, so yeah, do a review. DM Jason at Wheeling Wine Whiskey on the IG. We'll send you a sticker. Yeehaw. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Exactly. All right. Chris, with that,
we're out. Woo, ho, ho, ho.